Welcome into another video in my series where we're going through and testing all the weapons inside of MW3 to see how viable these weapons are for us to be using inside of our Zombies game mode. It's going to include the aftermarket parts, the aftermarket conversion kits, as well as the weapons from MW2. So if you're new around here and you'd like to see how weapons perform inside of Call of Duty Zombies, you're definitely in the right spot. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on those bell notifications so you're not going to miss out any future uploads from myself. As well, down below in the description, you will find the link for my streams. I stream on Mondays and Thursdays, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I stream everything from MW3 Zombies all the way through to custom zombie maps and have an absolute blast over there. Would love to have you all come and hang out. Now, before we dive into anything review related today, I just want to give and take a second to give a shout out to the channel members that have gone above and beyond with immense support of the channel. So thank you so very much. Now, we do have Season 6 fast approaching, and I am super excited to unlock the final weapon mastery camo that you see here on screen. It looks amazing. Now, for those of you that don't know what's coming for Zombies for Season 6, there is no content for Zombies. However, if you have unlocked your Dark Aether portals, you will be able to enter those without a sigil in Season 6. As well, your cooldown time on your schematics will be halved. So we're going to be talking further as the channel is really pushing forward. You guys are just smashing out goals faster than I can even think of them. The next one is 5,000 subscribers, which is going to be our 4th Black Ops 6 giveaway. This one is going to be a Vault Edition on any platform of your choice. To be entered, just make sure you are subscribed, liking, and commenting on the videos down below. As well, with the insane growth, our amazing Zhorde community Discord is also growing at an amazing rate, and it has been just amazing to see people get into games, make new friends, and knock out things inside of their games that they have had troubles with since they got into MW3. So it's been truly amazing. It is a community built around the idea of players willing to help out other players. So if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, the link for that is down below in the description. Now, we also have a brand new event, Emotional Overdrive, and if you have the bundle, the character bundle shown in the background, you earn additional XP while doing this. This is the camo that's unlocked for completing the event. Let me know how far along you are in that event, as I think that camo is going to look pretty cool. Now, today we're going to be taking a look at a weapon suggestion from inside the Zhorde community Discord. So today we're going to have a look at the Renetti handgun with its aftermarket conversion kit. We're going to be taking that through all 3 tiers, taking on bounty contracts all the way through. So hopefully by the end of today's video, you have a really good feel for how the Renetti performs inside of Zombies. And after I exfil from the Dark Aether, you should be able to make up your mind on whether or not this weapon is going to be a viable option for you to be running inside of your Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games. So without further ado, let's get to the Renetti aftermarket conversion kit review video today. Alright, welcome into today's video. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. I truly do appreciate that. Now, today we're doing something that I truly love to do, and that is a weapon suggestion from all of you. And today's suggestion comes from inside of the Zhorde community Discord. If you're interested in joining, the link for that is down below in the description. Now, if you're new to the channel around here, when I spawn in and do my weapon testing videos, we spawn in and put on all of my perks with no additions to the weapon whatsoever to make it any stronger, aside from running Deadshot Daiquiri. I do play on mouse and keyboard, so I like the extra critical damage that it does provide. So we all go off and pick up our first bounty contract of the day inside of Tier 1, and we're looking to take on our Mimic inside of Tier 1 at just white rarity, so no extra additions to the weapon whatsoever, so just the base weapon, and see how it handles a bounty contract inside of Tier 1. And you can see the critical damage when you're able to hit the critical shots with this viewer suggestion build is remarkable. The damage, I was thoroughly impressed. This was absolutely shredding our very first bounty contract of the day with no additions to the weapon at all. Truly amazing. Got a self-revive and a pack 1 crystal out of that bounty contract, which was awesome because this gave me an opportunity to show you all how to keep your camo on your weapon during your runs. Visit the Pack-a-Punch machine before you use a Pack-a-Punch crystal or the Pack-a-Punch machine. Wait for the center of it to turn green, and then apply your PAP crystal or use the Pack-a-Punch machine then, and you will keep your camo on your weapon for the rest of the run. So now that we had increased the damage output on the Renetti by 1 by visiting Pack-a-Punch inside of Tier 1, still at white rarity, no tools and no ammo mods on the weapon, I was really eager to get over to this bounty contract and see how well this Renetti was going to absolutely just destroy it based on what I saw on our bounty contract we took on at just the base rarity. And holy smokes, I was less than a magazine. I was jumping up and down there because that is insane. That is incredibly strong. Earned some XP for the new event right there, which was awesome to see. So now it's time to have some fun inside of Tier 1, make ourselves incredibly overpowered for Tier 1, pack 1, legendary with an ammo mod, and go off and grab our third and final bounty contract inside of Tier 1. Now, this one and these contracts, when I do my reviews, is usually a fun one I like to do. We're incredibly overpowered for Tier 1. I like to see just how fast we can evaporate a bounty contract. And yeah, that Mangler had no chance. I definitely like to see the reward rifts like that. Double is pretty funny. So seeing how well we had done with this build across the bounty contracts inside of Tier 1, I was eager to go into Tier 2 and see how this would perform against a bounty contract inside of Tier 2. Also, I did not want to increase any of the damage output when we went and visited our Tier 2 bounty. We did extremely well across all 3 bounties inside of Tier 1, so I did not feel the need to rush over and increase the damage output on this Renetti to pack 2 before taking on our first bounty in Tier 2. Now we got a Disciple, and this fight shows exactly why I find these to be the most annoying contract inside of MWZ. Just because of their movement, they summon zombies, they heal zombies, they regenerate their health when they are siphoning health off of you. It is just overall a massive annoyance to deal with the Disciples. I know that Deadwire is the strongest ammo mod you can use against Disciples, so if you're looking and you really struggle with Disciples, I would recommend maybe try putting Deadwire on your weapons to help you out. But other than that, the damage output inside of Tier 2 at only pack 1 was remarkable. So again, it was time to pause and activate my mobile Pack-a-Punch machine and increase the damage output on this Renetti to Pack-a-Punch 2 and find ourselves a bounty inside of Tier 2 and see, is this going to be similar to the third and final bounty contract we did in Tier 1, where we're just going to be able to instantly evaporate our Tier 2 bounty contract? And yeah, I would say virtually almost identical. I mean, this Mangler had no chance. He tried to slap me or swipe me with his huge weapon there on his arm, and it just didn't even work. He had no chance. And then when I was coming into Tier 3, I noticed Zhorde was out on the bridge. What are you doing, Zhorde? Where are you going? I feel like people were making Zhorde wander away from home. That's not very nice. Anyway, we stopped in and visited the Wonderfizz machine, grabbed the rest of the perks before we venture into Tier 3 to see what this Renetti with the aftermarket conversion kit can do inside of Tier 3. I was really excited to kind of push in at Pack 2 Legendary with my ammo mod and see what this weapon could do inside of Tier 3. Now, Tier 3 today, when I got in, was insane. It was like a shopping mall with how many people and how busy it was inside of Tier 3. It was absolutely crazy. Stick through the video, you'll see what it was like for me trying to find contracts inside of Tier 3 today. I might have to start running a Scorcher just so I can get the contracts. So you'll see. But you can see here at Pack-a-Punch level 2, ADS, attack stance, this thing just melts everything at the end of the barrel. Truly remarkable. I was like, look at the carnage at Pack 2 inside of Tier 3. So at this point, it was time to throw on Pack 3, put our damage output at this Renetti to its maximum damage output, round up a group of zombies inside of Tier 3, and see how it handles crowd control at maximum damage output. And yeah, wow. It just destroys absolutely everything. Armored zombies, no issue at all. Just completely get out of my face. No problem. So now I wanted to go over and see Zhorde, the Guardian of the Arches, and show him the Renetti build that was suggested to me from our awesome Zhordecommunity. But Zhorde was nowhere to be found. Honestly, at this point, let me know if you think Zhorde has just given up. He left his loot. Zhorde is nowhere to be found. I don't know what's going on. So at this point now, I was trying to grab a bounty contract to show you how well this performs against a bounty contract. So there was my first one. It got grabbed by somebody. Good grab. I'm not going to complain for somebody being quicker to a bounty contract. So credit to them for getting that one. And I was like, okay, so that one's been gone. Let's see what else we can find. And I was like, okay, there's nothing. Checked again, and there was a bounty contract up there. So I was like, all right, we'll ping that. We'll make our way over to the bounty contract. Now, I saw a bunch of players in the area, but I thought they were doing the P&D. Turns out they were not. So I pinged a different contract. Make my way over to this one. I felt good about getting here. I figured like I had time. Nope, that one got taken away. So it was time to ping another contract. This time I figured I'd grab an Outlast. See if I can do an Outlast. Maybe that'll spawn me a bounty contract afterwards. And I got really close that time. But again, no contract. So at this point, I was like, okay, I've been reduced to grabbing a Spore contract. Now, I did know on my way over to that Spore contract that that bounty contract might spawn before I get to the Spore, and I got super lucky, and it did. So I managed to grab a Mega Abomination bounty contract, and I was super excited to show you guys how well... I swear, I wasn't able to show you how well this performed against a Mega Abomination because it self-completed itself, which was absolutely, I guess, amazing. I got a Sigil, self-revive out of the deal, which I wasn't too, you know, I wasn't going to complain. That was definitely decent. So seeing how contracts were scarce and it was a real struggle to find them inside of Tier 3, I got a Sigil from the Mega Abomination, so I figured, you know what? We're just going to head off to the Dark Aether for Season 2, replenish the mags of holding that I had put on my weapon, and we'll show you guys how the weapon performs inside of the Season 2 Dark Aether. Now, when I got up to the portal, there was a player here in Tier 2 that I got notified had gone down, so I made a beeline over and make sure I got them back up. Now, I wasn't sure what this player was doing when I got them up because they were kind of standing there. Now, I know sometimes people are really generous and they will drop some things off if you get them up, you know, if like a Scorcher guy drops out of the sky by accident. So he dropped me a bunch of loot, but I didn't need any of that. So you go ahead and keep that, my friend. No worries. Get back in the fight. He was thankful and happy to get back in the fight. So it was back off to Tier 3 for us to activate the Season 2 Dark Aether to see how this Renetti with the conversion kit is going to perform inside of the Season 2 Dark Aether. I had used a mags of holding this run, so I definitely wanted to be able to, you know, grab some mag of holdings to replace the one that I had used. But mostly at this point, I was inside of the Season 2 Dark Aether just because I was having a real fight trying to grab bounty contracts to show you how viable this weapon was to use inside of Tier 3. So I figured if it performs great inside of the Season 2 Dark Aether, then there is no reason why it would not have performed extremely well inside of Tier 3 as well. So here we are inside of the Season 2 Dark Aether. This is the way to grab your first bounty contract. You just make a 180 from where you spawn in and head into this building, and you'll find your bunny right there. So we picked that up, and we got a Mangler, which honestly was surprising. Usually I get a Mega Abomination. Also, it was not kind of engaging me. Like, the Mangler was sitting, look, it's just kind of chilling in the back in the gas there. I'm not sure how close you have to get them to kind of start, you know, engaging and fighting with you, but like he was not doing anything. He was just chilling there. So I dropped my energy mine and started to lay in some critical shots, and I could already tell like this is going to be such an awesome, easy fight, except there was so much crowd control, and then I had a second Mangler show up in the area that caused just all kinds of problems for me to be able to focus fire in on our Mangler bounty contract inside of the Season 2 Dark Aether. But when I was able to hit the critical shots on our Mega Abomination bounty contract, holy smokes, the damage output with this build is remarkable. I was feeling super confident using this inside of the Season 2 Dark Aether. I wasn't concerned about being able to push back the zombies. I wasn't concerned about being able to dish out enough damage to the bounty contract to be able to complete it. I mean, you can see there's a standard Mimic right there, and we just like evaporated the Mimic at the end of our barrel. The Mangler cannon blasts were causing me all kinds of issues for plates, as I did not bring in golden armor. So I was having a bit of an issue dealing with, you know, getting a Mangler cannon shot, taking off a ton of my damage. I threw a Thermite on our bounty, and then on the standard Mangler HVT. I was just trying to finish off the HVT Mangler before I went in and finished off our bounty Mangler, because I knew that once I got the standard HVT Mangler out of the way, I was going to be able to show you guys just how viable this is to destroy. But I mean, look at this Mangler. No chance. Finally got into focus fire, and you can see it just gets shredded at the end of the barrel. Very similar when we finish off our Mangler bounty contract, and you can see the crowd control inside of the Season 2 Dark Aether with this Renetti is definitely not a problem. You're also able to move really quickly with the build. I noticed that. There was times when I was booking it out of the way from crowd control, and I had the weapon in my hand, and I was still able to outrun the zombies, which was awesome. The only thing I did notice once inside of the Season 2 Dark Aether was ammo was an issue. But I believe most of that was during this fight because I was focusing in on the bounty and the other HVTs in the area, and not necessarily clearing out the riffraff from the zombies, and the zombies are what drop a lot of the ammo for me. So I think that was about the only issue I was really having right here. We almost had them. And then I had to go off and grab some more ammo and come back, but we were able to finish off our bounty contract inside of the Season 2 Dark Aether. The bounty itself without much of a struggle at all. I mean, the only real challenge was dealing with the crowd control in the area and the other HVTs that spawned in. So the next thing to do is to go off and grab the Outlast, the P&D contract inside of the Season 2 Dark Aether. Now, if you make your way over to this contract and you follow the path I'm going right here, you can hop over the fence just on to the right here, and there is an ammo cache right here. So if you're out of decoys or, you know, your grenades or whatever, you can go ahead and replenish them right there. So I threw on my sentry turret to help out with the P&D, hit the ammo cache to make sure that I have all my ammo I needed. Now also, if you bring in a circuit turret board, as you know, those are incredibly overpowered. If you climb up top here, sometimes you will get lucky and there will be a circuit turret for you to put the board in, and that definitely will help out with the P&D. So then we put down our sentry turret here. I was trying to find kind of a different place to put it to see if it was going to be any more effective, and made the critical mistake of waiting too long to activate the P&D, and took a silly down trying to get off of the P&D machine and over the countertop. So I should have popped the second decoy right there. But anyway, I wanted to show you the entire P&D contract with this Renetti because it is so strong. I really was not struggling with anything inside of the P&D contract, aside from there was a couple times when the Disciple's healing, I just couldn't get it to stop. So I had to dip outside of the P&D contract for a second just to do that. But I mean, it was just a lot of moving around, constantly picking up plates on the ground because I didn't have golden armor plates with me today. Using the countertops to mantle over and back over them as the zombies have to go around and they can't, you know, mantle over the countertops in here. So using that to my advantage. There's one of the times the Disciple's healing just wouldn't stop off of me, so I had to just kind of disengage and move myself around. But I mean, you can see the zombies, the crowd control. I'm definitely having no issues being able to destroy things at the end of my barrel well inside of this, you know, P&D contract that can get absolutely insane with the amount of zombies that you have to deal with and HVTs that you have to deal with while you're in here. But it definitely handles everything extremely well. If you see me mantling over the countertops repeatedly like this, it's definitely one of the tips that I suggest if you're in here trying to complete this by yourself. As the zombies, everything has to go around the countertops. They can't go over them like you can. So it can help kind of group up and, you know, control your herd when you're inside here dealing with the P&D contract. Here we are. I had to jump out just close to the end as there's just too much right there. I got a lucky double points though, right as the contract ended, so it awarded me 10,000 essence for completing that. And then it happened. I can't remember who it was who mentioned it in the comments section that they're unable to open up their reward rifts. Thank you for the comment. I was now unable to open my reward rift. I love how that works. So it's time to pick up the final contract inside of the Season 2 Dark Aether, which is the Aether Extractor contract. And this one is one of the ones that can be incredibly easy to do if you are running Casimirs. So you just throw a Casimir right at the machine, head over to the computer and activate the phone. The Casimir should keep you protected while you're activating the phone. Now, I had purchased a few extra Casimirs on my way in here today, so you will see me use more than one at a couple of the Aether Extractors to complete that, but it is definitely not a necessity. You can do all three with just 3 Casimir grenades. So we threw that one down and made it over to the Aether Extractor computer, activated that and overrid that one, so we had just one left to do. And you can see I still had 2 Casimirs to go, plus a decoy, so I figured, you know what, we'll throw that one down to handle some of the crowd control, and then we'll throw another one right at the Aether Extractor so we can go ahead and finish that. And here we are activating our final Aether Extractor inside of the Dark Aether, and we're able to complete all 3 contracts inside of the Season 2 Dark Aether without much of a struggle. I managed to pick up a Casimir from, I think it was that Mangler that died, so I threw that down so I could get into this reward rift. Thank goodness. I got an Elder Sigil, which I'll use to help out members inside of the Zhorde Discord. So overall, absolutely amazing weapon suggestion. This thing hits incredibly hard. You can move incredibly fast. Just an awesome, super fun weapon to run. Thank you so very much for the suggestion. I truly do appreciate that. This was absolutely amazing. We made it out with some okay loot. Not too bad. I have Bloodburner keys. I didn't really need a perk or an ammo mod. So this was the build that was suggested inside of the Zhordecommunity Discord. And the only thing that I changed from your suggestion inside the Discord was the camo that I put on it. So we ran the Jak Ferocity Carbine Kit, and this is what the Jak Ferocity Carbine Kit does. These are the pros and cons that it does to your weapon. And the blueprint, sorry, the camo that I was using on our Renetti today is under under the events camo, and it is the sorry, what's it called? It's the new Chainbreaker one. And the blueprint that I was running on the handgun, you will see right here on the Renetti, is called Hexed Cruelty. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch you guys in the next one.